Good morning, folks. How are we doing today? Hope y'all are having. Let's get this situated here. Hope y'all are having a good day. A good start to the day here so far. A big walk with Thor already, and we are soon going to be joined by Mr. Aaron Cates of Real Deal Media. He's coming at us from Toronto. Aaron and I have been chatting quite a bit over the last couple of days. A lot in common with Aaron, especially with the way he does his media, the way our interests are. We tend to follow the same kind of things. We go to the root of the problems, and I'm quite looking forward to working more with Aaron. So we're gonna get Aaron on here probably around we'll be here 12:23, probably about 10 minutes or so. Aaron will be joining us. So share. We'll get this out. We'll try to get some more people in the stream before Aaron gets on here. We're going to begin with an article here. I'm going to bring this on, and I'm going to share this out to some more places here while you guys watch this short 2-minute video. And then we're going to go over this article. After that, we're going to get into the happenings of the Palestinian protests yesterday. I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as possible today, because as soon as we're done here, I'm going to hop in the shower and go apply for jobs. So got a busy day, busy afternoon ahead of us. So, but there is some very important things happening in Canada. So I wanted to make sure that we brought this to you guys first, because there's a lot going on, and it's all kind of tying into kind of the end here. And when I say the end, I don't mean the dark end. That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to say that the bottom has fallen out of everything. The truth is being exposed on a monumental level. And with the American election coming up, they've got to make a push. They cannot let Trump get into office. And their push is going to be this avian flu and the Palestinian unrest. And I hear Thor out there. I might have to go get him. Just one sec. I'm going to play this video, and I'm going to go get Thor in here with me. Oh, we got no volume here. There we go.
What do you want? The jabs have serious. What else are they lying about? The newly emerging consensus that COVID vaccines, the jabs, have serious side effects has many people, including medical experts, revisiting other vaccines, including childhood vaccines that have been foisted upon our kids for decades. An anonymous but popular Substack author writing under the name The Midwestern Doctor has laid out a thoughtful and compelling assessment of many widely accepted childhood vaccines. The author found many vaccines have negligible or non-existent benefits, but have documented side effects. These cases include MMR, DPT, flu, and the tetanus vaccines. As he points out, what essentially happened after the bacterial childhood vaccinations were introduced was that it caused both that infection and other bacterial infections to become more common, and for them to mutate to more dangerous strains that affected many people who were not previously susceptible to them, and created a variety of new side effects from the infections not seen before. He goes on to say the response to the other infections becoming worse has been to make new vaccines for them, which has further accelerated this downward spiral, which actually, when you read this piece, makes a lot of sense. And it also makes for a lot of big pharma profits. And in conclusion, on COVID vaccines, the Midwestern Doctor writes, quote, these recent publications and the data sets that Dowd's estimate is based upon show clearly and unambiguously that the risk of the COVID vaccines greatly outweigh any possible benefit they might have. Dr. Pierre Corey, who has risen to prominence as a COVID vaccine critic, posted on X that the article calls him, or he's already been talking about this a little, to rethink his acceptance of the manufacturer consensus about the childhood vaccine schedule. He writes, quote, "Before COVID, I didn't think there were serious issues with the childhood vaccines, but now, like many, I've come to question that assumption."
So as we can see, the beautiful thing about COVID was that it has exposed all of this other, I guess we'll call it misleading in the health department. So I'm just going to read through this. Turns out that the shots forced on children to attend school have negligible or non-existent benefits, but documented side effects. This is true for many of the most widely used vaccines, including the MMR, DPT, flu, and the tetanus shots. This information came to light from a comprehensive report written by popular Substack author and Midwestern doctor. The author highlights that following the introduction of bacterial trivalent vaccinations, not only did the targeted infections become more widespread, but other bacterial infections also emerged and evolved into more dangerous strains. This new reality prompted the creation of more vaccines, which in turn has accelerated this downward spiral and boosted big pharma profits. Again, folks, how? Oh, I better go check. We got Thor going out there. We got.
No, Mark. No.
So she pretty much read this article, anyways. What we are going to get into, I don't know if you can hear Thor out there. We're introducing Thor to a wiener dog, and Thor is scared of the wiener dog. She's a little defensive, but Thor's trying to stay away from her. It's quite comical at the moment. She's even protecting me from Thor. So I apologize for the little bit of chaos this morning. It's the first day here, but this is where we'll be staying. We're looking forward to planting our roots here in Montreal, and we're with some very awesome family here. Aaron is going to be coming on in just a few moments. I'm going to get us into something different here, away from the vaccines, and this is we are going to dive back into vaccines, but more so in avian flu, and we're going to wait for Aaron to do that. What we are going to do is I'm going to play this for you guys. This was yesterday in Ottawa, and we're going to comment on this with Aaron when we get back.
Here we go. Little minions are coming in town. Move for little minions. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Raga, faut pas chier. Ça roule la cabane. Et tabarnak, j'ai pas de Christ. Ta 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 ta. Ta 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 na na ta na na. The power of the dark side. Luke, I am your brother.
Sorry, I was muted there. Just to make everybody aware, I did share a post yesterday. A lot of you commented saying that you couldn't see it. This was it.
Holy shit, huh? That's it? Oh! Hey, ça va rocker des petits, ça. J'aime mieux de bloquer solide. Là. You better block solid. Mec qui tourne dedans, ils vont rentrer solide. Hey! C'est OK, là. Hey Chris, l'autre il prend sa matraque. Hey, you guys gonna get hit là. They have their stick là. I'm telling you, you're gonna get hurt. I'm telling you, you will get hurt. Oh, back them out. Protect your face. Make sure you don't have sunglasses because they're gonna break it away. Next time, put your wooden stick in between the two and the angles. You can put a wooden stick, make sure you have this so you back off with it. The day they move in, good job, girl. Good job, guys.
What do we want? Liberation! What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? If we don't get it, if we don't get it, occupation now!
Holy fuck. Really? Really? Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Where are the news? Where are the news on this? Chris! Chris! Look at the ministers fucking lying laughing, huh? Bunch of crooks. Miss shit for what? For yelling in the street, you're gonna say these people are criminals? You should be ashamed. All you police officers, you should be ashamed right now. They're not doing anything bad. Same thing as a freedom convoy. We did nothing bad. But look at the job you're doing. Look at what you're doing. You're gonna step on your population and peacefully protest in your city just because you're not for it. Everybody here, just make sure you understand that they're gonna put mischief on you. You won't be able to travel. I'm telling you, they're gonna use their force no matter how you want to look at it. Tomorrow's another day. Think about it. Tomorrow's another day, guys. Oh, hey, they're coming in. They're coming in that side. You're still able to get away without any charge. Think about tomorrow. Think about tomorrow. Tomorrow's another fight. You're gonna come in. Guys, you still have time. Think about it. Tomorrow's another day, guys. Think about this. Tomorrow's another fight, guys. You won't win this in a day, believe me. If you arrest all these people, imagine the loss you have on your team if you arrest all of these. You must understand that you did your work. You did what you needed to do. You show yourself, you show the pressure. Now it's time to pack up and go. Before they arrest you and you have mischief on all of you. We learn from the Freedom Convoy, okay? We learn. And this fight, you don't want it. When they have their stick, you don't want it. They come on you and they don't care. Tomorrow, guys, is another.
Yeah, so I just want to stop and comment because Joan is spot on. What we are seeing here, folks, this is a psyop. They have infiltrated this country, and just like we've always said, they've infiltrated everything good. Everything good has been infiltrated by bad, and there are innocent Palestinians who have just as much pride in their country as we do, but they are infiltrated by Hamas. And this is a show. This is a photo op. They had people at the airport for the gun trade show, an Israeli gun trade show. They had people at the Ottawa police station after this. They blockaded that. I am not showing you this to put it on display. I'm showing you this for what we're going to get to at the end here and what we're going to comment on. It's important that we still see this. It's important that we learn from it and use it to move forward. But it's also important that people understand this is your government doing this. Your government wants civil war. Why do they want civil war? Because the bottom has fallen out of everything. The truth is coming out about everything. They need civil war to do the things they need to do. The WHO treaty has been put on hold. Now you have Trudeau and Rob Ford, or not Rob Ford. Yeah, it is Rob Ford, sorry. You have Trudeau and Ford. I get Rob and Doug mixed up. I apologize. I'm not an Ontario person. I get the Fords mixed up. I'm sure somebody's going to help me right away in the comments. It's probably going to be Joan first. Trudeau and Ford are right now. Oh, and there's Inspector Cates. There's Inspector Cates. We're going to bring him right on here in a sec. I'm going to give him a minute just to get set up there. I'm not sure if you can hear me, Aaron, but I'm going to give you a minute or two just to get situated there. And it's probably a good time that I muted this. So I'm just going to give Aaron 1 minute and we'll just continue this. But I want everybody to realize that this is a play, you know, this is a show. Doug, thank you. Thanks, guys. We're coming to the end here. The bottom's falling out of it all. The truth is being exposed on a massive level, and they need chaos. And with that chaos, they're timing this avian flu. And Trudeau and Ford are right now at a vaccine plant in Ontario discussing avian flu shots. Do you see what's coming? I hope you do, because we do have a plan for it. As I've been saying, the people are preparing to rise. Now, you're not going to hear others in the freedom movement talk about this. You might hear some other small time people, but you're not going to hear your leaders talk about this, because most of them are asthma, as we've been exposing. Most of them are paid to make you go in circles. Anyways, let's bring Aaron on here. I hope he's ready. I think he is. And we're going to bring him on here. We'll bring this video back down here. I'll show you guys that more later. Mr. Cates, how are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gents. Yeah, thank God. Wow, crazy stuff, guys. I never imagined in a million years that Canada would be this. What you have to do firstly when you're like, I'm in business 23 years in mortgage sales, and what you have to do is you have to remove the emotions first. So let's take a step back, take a deep breather. Let's see where we are at right now, because if you take out the actual, let's say the thing that's going on, the Gaza, Israel, people are dying, If you take that back for a second and you look what's happening, we're fully infiltrated in Canada. Forget what's going on for a second. Look at the rallies that's going on. I also want to break down the rallies, because Jeremy, I don't know, like I've done some American shows and I've done it on my podcast. So I'm on Inspector Cate's Real Deal Media. We just did the Horror of Havana movie. We'll talk about that later. But
So
I've
good.
interviewed with several American podcasters about these protests. And
Okay.
as you know, maybe people are aware or not aware, because I've watched your show, but I don't know how far deep the rabbit hole on this one is. But a lot of the money is coming from Qatar to various NGOs, non-government organizations. And Qatar is like two-faced. You ever see the movie G.I. Joe? There was like a guy who was playing both sides and handing weapons to G.I. Joe and also handing weapons to Cobra. Qatar is that guy. Qatar is playing Israel. Qatar is also playing like the deep state. They're also playing Hamas as well. So so they pay George Soros foundations, probably Clinton Foundation and whatever else. They're paying money to them, and they're spreading that money to the universities, and the universities are paying the students. And they're getting like 30-40 bucks an hour. And anyone who tells me no, they're not getting paid, well, I know tuition. I went to school many years ago, and tuition's expensive then. Tuition's very expensive now. So if you don't have a summer job and parents are just struggling to pay their mortgage, who's paying for your tuition next year? You better have a summer job lined up. So you must be getting paid somehow, because someone's got to pay for your tuition next year. So that's the first thing. The second thing, can I just elaborate a little bit on what I know, and then we'll kind of talk?
Please do, man. Please do.
Okay,
Use the platform.
awesome.
My pleasure.
Yeah, man. So yeah, when you want to break down these I call them riots, actually. Let's not give them peaceful protests with burning fires in the background. When you look at these riots, they're so well organized. How is it possible that they have the same slogans? The tents are all the same. Who's paying these 4 or 5 grand tents? Where did the students get the money for that? The slogans are all the same. I actually have a headache when I drive by and I hear free. Don't you guys have a headache? I got a headache. I know that there's 2 million of my brothers and sisters at the food banks, Canadians, right now who can't afford to eat. And you guys are screaming over in Gaza when you have no idea what's going on. Israel is a very complex place. It's not a 75-year anniversary. This is thousands of years old, going back to history. You got to look beyond what you think that you know. If you've never been to the land of Israel, then you don't understand what's going on. And what do I mean? Well, you got to know your enemy. I've been there several times. I have family there. I know exactly who my enemy is, and I know exactly, like, the people of Israel they're awesome people. Let's put it that way. They're really awesome people. And I know, let's give a breakdown. There's about 9 million Israeli population. 7 million are Jews. Do you know that there's 2 million Arabs living in Israel? Do people know that? They can actually vote in the Knesset. Here's another stat, Jeremy, that you probably didn't know. Do you know that 100,000 Palestinians work in Israel every day, coming across the Gaza border for food to feed their families.
I
Here
did
you
not know
are.
that.
Do you know that the population of Gaza has increased every year substantially, way more than any Western nation? So if you have a genocide going on, how is it possible that the population is increasing? I'm a numbers guy. I'm a mortgage guy. I've been doing this
For
for
sure,
23
for sure.
years. Just call me a conspiracy theorist. Call me whatever you'd like to. I'm going based on the numbers. I also know that there are a lot of numbers that are not accurate. I had a really good show with James Grunwig on Red Pill Media. He's really awesome, and he's got so many followers. And we had a chat that the UN, all the numbers that come out, Jeremy, are from Hamas's Ministry of Health.
Okay. Okay.
So when you see 35,000, you're listening to Hamas's numbers.
Right.
Now, the UN had admitted that those numbers were cut in half. They should be in half, which means that those numbers are not accurate. And 2 weeks to stop the spread, governments would never lie about numbers now, would they? To promote and push a war, would they? Never. I'm not saying, that Israel's right in some ways either. I'm not a Netanyahu fan. But the thing is that it's very complex because sometimes you got to go with the devil, If Netanyahu's not in there in Israel right now, who are we going to go with? A leftist, communist party that's going to control, and then Israel is going to be done in another way? You have to remember, Israel also was one of the most vaxxed countries in the world. So there's a deep state there. There's a deep state Hamas. A lot of the aid that Israel sends in, or the world sends in, goes through these funneled companies, UNRWA, UN, and all these different things. And the aid, we think it goes to the place, but it never gets to the right place. Hamas actually steals the aid, yet the people are starving. Well, how do I know that's true? Well, let's just say I'm wrong. It's funny that they have lots of weapons, and they're always rockets ready to go and guns and da-da-da, but the people never have food. These tunnels, they're not cheap. They're millions of dollars to build tunnels. Where did they get the money for these tunnels? Well, a lot of the money was supposed to go to the UN, UNWRA, all these different organizations, and they're building tunnels. Why are they building tunnels and not giving money and aid to the people? The problem is that Palestine is also, let's say, you want to say it's occupied? Yeah, it's occupied by Hamas. The people voted in a terrorist organization. They have no rights. They cannot speak up inside Gaza. And if they do speak up, unfortunately, sadly, a lot of these people will not make it. You see, Queers for Palestine. Do the people realize what's going on? They'd be pushed off a mountain. They will not last a second. And Jeremy, Christians in Gaza, no offense, I love, I know there's peaceful people, but Hamas does not like Christians. Of course, they don't like Jews, but you wouldn't be welcomed with a full falafel sandwich going into Gaza. If you scream out, "I'm a Christian American, I'm a Christian Canadian." I'm just trying to be really straight out. Now you come.
No, I appreciate it, man, because there's not many people that we can bring on to talk about this, so I do appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'm elaborating a little bit more. I'm trying to go with numbers. I was there in 2016, and right beside me was a room full. The whole floor was actually full of people from Texas, Christians who came from Texas, and they came to Jerusalem to see all the thing. And we had a great time, had a drink together with these people. I mean, Israel's very welcoming. A lot of the stuff that you see is AI. The one thing that I can say is that the bad side, whichever the deep state side is, and I'm not saying all Arab people, I get along with, I have some amazing Arab friends, and we can have beers, we can chill and have a smoke together. I'm saying the deep state ones, the ones that are really, really pushing it, they don't want peace on both sides. They scream from the river to the sea. So you're saying there's a genocide happening while you know what that slogan is? That's a scream for genocide against Jews also. So you're screaming that you don't want a genocide. We're claiming you're screaming for a genocide against Jews and Israelis. It doesn't work. The math is not method. No. Israel is giving 100,000 work permits to Palestinians and putting food on their table at the same time calling genocide. The slogan "From the river to the sea" is truthful. That's a genocide slogan for Jews. They push us all into the sea, and that land is theirs. You're claiming genocide while screaming genocide.
Right.
There's a lot of weird things with the organization and the money. I always say follow the money. and I want peace. I am Jewish. I love my Canada, and I love Israel. And I want peace. But right now, there's a deep state going on. We have to understand that they're playing us like a chessboard on all sides.
Yeah.
All sides.
Everything good has been infiltrated by bad. Everything.
Everything. And you know what? How do we like understand where we are? You know, one of the things I always say on Real Deal Media is, in order to understand where we are right now, I always say, let's look back at history. Let's take a history textbook and kind of, even though some of them are like made up, and you can kind of get an idea. World War I, World War II.
You got to piece it together, you know. You got to take a little bit, because it's all excluding truth and it's all manipulated a bit. So you got to do your own, right?
Yeah, so we kind of understand, like, June 1st, the color revolution is starting. You know, my uncle was gay. He passed away, and he was like one of my best friends. One of the things I always said to him, I don't care who you were with, what you did, but I don't need to know about it. Just no different than, like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm with my wife. I'm not gonna like say anything or whatever. Like, it's a respectful time. So I said, be respectful. But they're trying to push an agenda here, which if you look at World War II, it's called the Color Revolution. I would say it's like a Marxist, you know, communist type of thing going on to divide the people. And you just got to take a look back and understand. Forget what we're seeing with our eyes. You have to kind of feel what you're, you know, what we're feeling in our souls. And we can all feel that we're being lied to, we're being manipulated, we're being pushed into a corner. We're feeling very frustrated, because we all have spirits, we all have a soul, and in our guts, it tells us that these people are criminals, and they're really doing something that's very, very evil. Whatever you want to call it, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, that's why our focus here has been lately, you know, it's been history. It's been learning from the traditional people here. And, you know, we're trying to educate so that we can do this peacefully, because the only way to do this peacefully is to educate the people.
Exactly.
All we have to do is say, no, we don't need the pitchforks and torches if everybody is understanding of what is going on. But if people
they don't like
choose
you
not
to
to
talk
listen,
about it.
no,
They
they
don't want you to
don't.
talk about it. Disinformation, that's crap. Cut the crap, my dad used to say. Those aren't
Yeah.
even words. I never grew up with those words. It's called an alternative opinion, an alternative conversation. And I'm allowed to disagree as long as I'm respectful. But pushing
Absolutely.
stuff in my face is disrespectful. I am of Judeo values, and I know you're Christian values, and I'm very respectful of that. I'm not going to start putting flags in your face and pushing you around. I'm actually very respectful. I have some Christian friends. We talk Bible all the time. We ask questions and go back and forth, and I consider them my brothers and sisters. So like all the division is really coming from government, and they want us divided. And what I noticed with these crowds, you see Antifa, you see BLM in there, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's like communist red flags, the arm and sickle. I see that, you know.
I saw those yesterday. Quite a few of them,
I saw
actually.
that yesterday too.
I thought they were warrior flags at first, and then I zoomed in and I was like, no, that's writing. That's not because of the same color scheme. And I was like, holy shit, what? And then I realized what they were, and I'm glad you pointed that out, because I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but I knew it wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah, no, I know. There's, you know what, I didn't even know, but in the 60s, there was a communist party started even in America. I know Canada has one too, but they're infiltrating the universities, and they're right to do it, because students are morons. I'm sorry. You guys follow anything that anybody tells you, and you're just following the system. Bunch of morons. You're gonna get caught with something, or something stupid is gonna happen, and it's just a matter of time. But the truth is, there's one solution to all these protests, is to just end them all. End them all. There's no need. You know, I don't want to say invoke the Emergency Act, but if you were going to do it with these protests, way worse than the trucker convoy. Way worse.
Oh yeah, especially right now with the timing of certain bills that they have ready to go. If they were to invoke that act, you know, all those bills are getting passed. You know, they're all getting passed.
You know what? That is a reason. I thought about that too. Maybe that's one.
I think that's why they're doing it right now, because people are awakening to what's going on. People are awakening to 53, to 63, to UNDRIP, to the WHO treaty. They're not getting their way. So what are they going to do? They're going to create chaos.
Yes, they are. They are. I mean,
so I'm glad to have you on here today to comment on this, bro, because I foresee some bad things in the next couple of weeks. I really do.
You know what? I remember again the history leading up to the U.S. election. March 2020 is when they released the bioweapon.
Yeah, it was the day after my birthday. March was the
Yeah, happy
lockdown.
birthday,
March
happy
12th.
belated.
March 12th. Right. Right.
Yeah, I know. Happy birthday! Just the whole world is shut down. You can't go
Yeah.
anywhere. You have to be 2 weeks in your house.
Yeah.
2 weeks to stop.
2 weeks to flatten the curve.
So they're behind. They are, but I've heard they are behind in their 2030 agenda. Number one, probably a
Big
few
time.
years.
Big time.
But they are looking to release something because where there's smoke, there's fire. We got Dr. Tam, who's a tranny, by the way. No offense or anything, but at least be honest of who you are. You're not a woman.
Right. Right.
You know, if you can lie about who you are, imagine what else you're lying about. And she's already caught on an audio tape or whatever Zoom call, saying that talking about bird flu and how to manipulate certain things.
Yeah, I have that. It's only a minute long. If I want me to throw that up for a sec.
Where's the letter agencies on that Zoom call? Where's
right?
any balance checks? Why are they having a Zoom call about something that doesn't exist?
Right. I thought I had here. Yeah, here it is, right here. I'll bring it up for a sec. It's only a minute long.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just gonna put it up here. Oh no, wait, that's not it.
Nope. Okay. Anyways, a lot of people have seen it.
Yeah, a lot of people have seen it. That was the one from Fauci and Moderna there, Bancel.
Yeah,
That one's from 2019 when they were planning the COVID.
Oh yeah, right. But
so almost the same thing, just COVID.
Same thing. Right. So then I wake up this morning. I always like to check the mainstream fake news to get an idea what the deep state is planning, and they tell us everything. They tell us right to your face. Just listen, read the news. Angers me every single day. But what they're planning, right down the street from me in Toronto at Santa Fe, what did they say? Biodiversity or something, metrics. Vaccine plant. We got Ford. We got all the minions. Chow, Trudeau, Freeland. My favorite one, Sarks, Yara Sarks, the one who said Hong Kong was a Nazi sign, and she's Jewish. She's a disgrace politician. She was caught handshaking PLO boss or something. To me, she's even more of a disgrace. But
I've got that right here. That's the one you sent me this morning there.
Yeah.
So that's a Trudeau, Ford, and the minions are at Vax plant in North right now. Sanofi, we don't have a pandemic. Why are they investing in Vax? Do they know something? Another pandemic coming. Thank you for sending me that too this morning.
Yeah, my pleasure. I try when something pops up, you wouldn't have known. So maybe some people I miss things all the time.
Right, for sure. I appreciate it.
I'm looking at it I like to ask questions, and you should be okay to ask questions. And they don't even want you to, but for now, we live in Canada where you're allowed to ask a question. It should be very legal as long as it's not offending anybody. My question is that we got 2 million Canadians at the food banks, and you guys are investing in vaccines, billions of dollars for something right now that nobody's sick completely, no COVID, no pandemic going on. So why can't you go and use some of that money? Let's get some burgers, order some pizzas. All those people are in line. Feed those Canadians who paid tax dollars. Let's feed them. You can vax our entire country, but you can't feed 2 million Canadians. They don't care about you folks. They don't care. The whore of Havana has got his own agenda. That's why they've been installed. And what did Klaus Schwab say? We've penetrated the cabinets, and we were so proud of the world economic leader, Trudeau, Macron.
That's pretty good. I like that. I like that impression.
I'm actually not so good at impressions, really, but maybe today I'm
the Klaus is pretty on point, bro. That's good.
The beautiful sunny day here in Toronto, actually, they didn't chemtrail so much. Maybe because everyone's in Toronto today, but the chemtrails they weren't as bad today. So you got the sun shining, you know.
I just got to Montreal here late last night, so I'm on the job hunt this afternoon.
Fair enough, but I'm still working. Believe me, I'm still working. But you know what? I'm trying to put a little bit of work into my career and a little helping Canadians in mortgages, and and a lot of people are crying, man. They're going through really hard times, high interest rates. We got inflation at 2.7, apparently they say, or went down, or 2.9, something in that ballpark. So lower the interest rates already. Give Canadians give them a break, throw them a bone.
Yeah, but they don't want that, do they?
What are they waiting till June? Do it already. I would have done it already. What's a
Right.
quarter point? Make us look. It would honestly, Jeremy, it would kickstart the real estate market a little bit because a lot of people are waiting on the sidelines. A little bit of
Right.
something. Why not? You know.
Yeah.
But no, we're gonna have billions into a vaccine plant. And I saw something yesterday. Did you guys see this one? 4 years ago, Trudeau promised a plant right in Montreal. Not one vaccine miracle was ever made from that plant they spent billions of dollars in. You know that? Do you see that article? It was yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
Not
And
one
he's got
vaccine. What was the point? And he's doing another one today.
yeah, and he's got that big tie to Aquitas in BC as well, and
Yeah, he
they
owes
were making the
40%.
COVID night. Yeah,
No,
40% from every shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mr.
Yeah.
Kieran in Ontario, our health minister. Oh, he was just on the board of Pfizer. Nothing to see here. No conflict of interest. Nothing to see here.
I wanted
No?
to. I was actually.
So
You
mad.
probably noticed by my face when I went like this at the start when you mentioned Qatar. So if you don't mind, I just wanted to ask you something on that because.
Ask away. Whatever I can
So
help.
about 6 months ago, because I've been working on quite a deception story, I guess you'd call it, within the movement.
Yeah.
And about 6 months ago, I tied a pretty large person from the movement to Qatar.
Interesting.
And
Is
the
it someone
middleman
that I know?
between
You don't have to say names, but someone
it
that I probably
probably
know.
is. It's one of the most significant truckers from Atlantic Canada.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. Oh, maybe I don't know as well. Maybe I don't know as well, but maybe.
Well, so how we found this, I was looking into him because I was surprised by his actions, and then I found right beside his property this corporation that was registered to this WEF individual. They have a location in Nova Scotia. They have a location in Victoria. This WEF individual, who's the middleman, is tied directly to Qatar. Qatar owns every 5G tower in North America.
That part I did not know.
Every 5G tower in North America is owned by Qatar.
I'm going to add to that. Can I add to that?
Yeah, please do.
What I just found out about 2 weeks ago, I got some satellite radio. They were showing the U.S. how they've ramped up the 5G. So it wasn't normal. It was on 5G, like really increased. And I remember I was speaking to my wife. She's saying, "Oh, I got some headaches." A few people had headaches. And this is like they're microwaving like your inside your brains. I probably shouldn't have these earbuds. I try not to wear them that much. But
I try to wear one at a time at least. And it's not a sandwich of radiation.
Yeah. It's actually really good. It keeps the noise in. It's awesome. But the thing is that I remember they were saying they ramped up the 5G. Like on my phone, I don't have 5G. I put it down to the 4G. Maybe I shouldn't even do that.
Me too.
But I took it off 5G, and I also got these little airs things. I don't know if let me see if I can show you here. I don't know if you guys can see that there. Can you see that? There's like this little circle here. This little circle I keep in my car. I bought it on Airs or whatever. I have it on the back of my phone also. But that circle, apparently it's supposed to block some of the rays from the 5G.
Okay.
So it keeps like a force field. I have it on my there, and I keep a couple in my room. Just try to do a little things. Keep your phone off 5G because this is real. I really believe that they're trying to hook the 5G up with a lot of people who took the miracle. Maybe you can agree with me on that. But that wasn't the point. I just wanted to add to your 5G, what's happening in the last couple of weeks.
I actually, somebody, while we're talking here, I'm going to see if I can find it because it's only about a minute long. And it shows from satellite view how since the eclipse that they've ramped up the 5G, and they're doing it during the time that North America is sleeping. And when you watch this from west to east, it's literally a roll of frequency. It's wild.
Man, it's so bad.
And they're doing it for 12 hours straight. And it's you can see these flashes and stuff, and it's intense. It's intense. And I truly believe that without these towers, they wouldn't have the virus.
Right.
I truly believe that is how they are making
agreement with you there. Yeah.
And that's why they want all these soft metals in us. That's why they're spraying us with it. They're injecting us with it. They're putting it in the food.
Yeah. I go for a steam every couple of weeks just to sweat out the toxins in your body. Go
probably a good idea.
Good jog, good steam, a wet steam.
Good soak in a steam.
Like that. Yeah, wet. The sweat sweats out through your glands. It'll get all
Right.
the toxins. But I would do like pour some water on after just to like let it off your body, and then
Right.
go back, do a couple 3 or 4 times of a steam. I really believe it works. I really
right.
believe that. But it's
Did
yeah,
you,
the 5G. Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. No, let's finish on the 5G before I ask you that.
Yeah, you were talking about you were going to add to the Qatar thing, but I wanted to tell you that I've noticed that it ramped up.
Yeah, so like I'm working on that still with the the deceit thing. There's so much.
Nothing
There's so much.
surprises me.
Oh my God.
I will tell you,
It's
driving
crazy.
through the city of Toronto, I look up and I look to see where the antennas are everywhere, and I see the antennas for the 5G on a lot of the just normal apartment buildings.
Yeah.
And I noticed the turbo cancers are up. If you're living, and I saw a study that people who live in the cities have way more radiation from 5G than people who are rural. So if you're living in the cities, be careful where you're living, because they're just putting these antennas up, probably not even notifying the tenants that are there. Oh yeah, we're just going to put up a radiation cell phone tower that you could probably die of cancer from, but we're not going to tell you because nobody really has looked into it. They don't want you to look into this. I think that's one of the reasons the studies, they're still pushing COVID vax on pregnant ladies. There's absolutely no studies for that. Should be illegal. They tell you not to drink while you're pregnant, or to smoke marijuana while you're pregnant. So why would you want to put an mRNA in your body when there's no pandemic going on? There's a lot of little things that just are so wrong. But with this 5G, it's really hidden. Be very cautious where you're living, especially in an apartment. I know someone who died of brain cancer already a couple of years ago. And one thing I told them, the guy was perfectly healthy, but I noticed that their office was on the top floor. And what's on the top floor? A cell phone tower. You're going there in office every single night, 6-7 days a week, for let's say 15 years. It's probably not good. Maybe it happened only 5 or 6 years. Still not good to probably be working underneath a cell phone tower. Who knows how much radiation? They have no idea how it happened. But I think in my wisdom that I got a little bit on this earth from seeing patterns and numbers, it's probably not a good idea to be working right beside a cell phone tower. My
Absolutely.
opinion. I'm no
I
doctor
agree.
though. Oh, you're not a doctor. No, I'm just a smart guy, and I see it's probably not a good idea.
We're gonna fact check that.
Yeah, exactly. There's misinformation.
So we've got about 8 minutes left. Why don't we finish on a positive? Why don't I bring up this trailer one more time, since it's only 2 minutes long, and then we'll
awesome.
discuss this amazing movie that you guys put together.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate it.
It was amazing. I've watched it 3 times now.
Yeah, me too, man.
Awesome.
I'm so proud of it. I was speaking to, a lady in the States, American podcaster, Mel K. She's so very well known.
I don't. I'll have to get her stuff from you.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to get her stuff from you, sir.
Well. But she was texting me, and I texted her the movie, and I said, I would be so honored if you watched our film. And she's got like hundreds of thousands of this and that, and I'm so grateful of your support. And she got back to me. She's like, sure, I'll watch it. I'll let you know. So it was just so nice that I've been on her show also once before, but it's just nice to get recognition from some bigger.
For
people.
sure, man.
I think this one deserves. What do they call it in Canada? A Grammy, or like no, not a Grammy. What's it called? Juno, a Juno, or something like that.
Is it Juno, or is that for music? Or is that just entertainment?
I don't know how it works.
I don't know either.
I never was entertainment. I don't even know how it works.
It deserves an award. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's that good. Dean Ryan,
it is, man.
I tell him he really outdone himself on this movie. He didn't sleep for days like doing this movie, especially towards the end, because he wanted to perfect it. I learned so much from this movie. But yeah, go ahead, play it, and then
for sure.
If you
I'm gonna be honest too. Like I never listened to Dean, and the way he speaks and the way he does it, man, I love it.
He's so
elegant,
love it, man.
It is.
I know.
All right, we'll start this up, and then we'll finish the last 5 chatting.
Awesome.
Informal talks at an island hideaway intensified their respect for each other, and their mutual enjoyment of skin diving added to the rapport.
Oh, what a charmer. And you know why he's in power. He has got charisma coming out his ears. What a charm.
She said that Fidel was the sexiest man she'd ever met, and she spent the whole time flirting with him.
And in other news, oh wait, this is Aaron K. Spy with Real Media.
Little did we know that the guy who did yoga, He was for women's rights. He was for gay rights. We thought he was just a run-of-the-mill good guy. We had no idea what was coming for us.
Marijuana, well, why wouldn't I vote for him? I want to see everybody have access.
Been in my past a very rare user of marijuana. The legalization of marijuana is not an event, it's a protest.
So it was a good vote for me at the time.
Trudeau, sucker, slow sucker! Trudeau!
Canada very much considers itself a collaborative, polite, gentle, safe society. And over the last few years, that's really deteriorated. A big reason for that is Justin Trudeau.
There's a few hundred tracks! We got a few.
The Trudeau's cash for access scandals, the Abicon vacationing scandal. There's so many scandals, many of the Canadians were duped.
This feeling we have right now, this optimism for the future, if there's any country in the world that can live up to our collective expectations, it's this one. I, Justin P.J. Trudeau, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully execute the powers and trusts which reposed in me as Prime Minister, so help me God.
one word to Justin Trudeau: treasonous, traitorous, scum.
So good.
Awesome,
So good.
man.
If you guys haven't seen that yet, make sure you check it out. I'm going to make sure to put all the links in the comments after we're done here, so it'll be easy for you guys. But if you have not taken the time, when you wind down tonight, find yourself some time to watch the horror.
Yeah, it was so entertaining, man.
It
We're
was.
on Rumble, so go to Real Deal Media. You'll see Horror of Havana there, or you can go check us out on Facebook on Real Deal Media or Dean Ryan. And yeah, it was fun though. Like there was actually stuff that I learned that Dean kind of like threw in some things, some twists of who he interviewed. The one with Kirk Reese. Some really you heard. I heard the story before, but
I've had Kirk on 4 times. I'm going to be having him on again, so I know Kirk pretty well.
Dean found him in the States.
Okay.
I didn't even find him. I've never spoken to him.
He's a good guy. He's been through a lot.
I know. You have to ask yourself, when they push and they come after you, you're really onto something. Well, it's those who scream the loudest. Those who, like, look at Robert De Niro on Trump yesterday, screaming loud, crying, because he's got skeletons in the closet. It's not looking good for him. People are going to find out the truth about Robert De Niro and kids and pedo and this pedalwood. So, I mean, it's not looking good for him. And he's crying the loudest because he's got a lot to lose. But more importantly, let's talk about the movie. Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Where did I see that this morning? I got to show you this.
I sent you the one also where the guy from New York made a painting about Robert De Niro.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Awesome,
we gotta bring that up for a second.
Yeah,
we gotta bring that up for a second.
I love
Me
that
too.
Guy. He's awesome. He tells it as it is.
Let's see here.
He's got
what's his name?
Accent. I actually can't remember his name.
He's an actor, isn't he?
I think in New York, but there was also one where he threw pizzas at the government or something.
Yes.
Because they wanted to put a pizza tax or some stupid.
I got it right here. If you guys haven't seen this, De Niro, just a little context for anybody who didn't see. De Niro was it yesterday he was in New York?
I think it was yesterday, yeah. Right outside the Trump courthouse.
Yeah, and he was basically giving a Biden speech outside the courthouse.
So bad.
And this is just absolutely beautiful here. And this is what we'll finish with.
This is the response of the New York artist.
In response to Robert De Niro's insanity speech yesterday. How this man said that Donald Trump and us are ruining democracy. Meanwhile, everything that's happening in that courtroom is exactly what he said yesterday, but for the other side. This is a travesty. This is unconstitutional. This is disgusting. This is ruining democracy. Yes. So in response, Mr. Trudeau, I give you my latest masterpiece called Crybaby. Go, Citizen Scott. Go, Citizen Scott.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Robert De Niro has got to go. That's awesome. That's how you beat them. These people are demons. You beat
Right,
them
and
with their,
that's
beat them with laughter, spirit.
that's just
being
it, you know, like,
being
and that's why I
human.
titled this episode here ReLOVEution,
Yeah.
because that's what we need here, and I believe the only way to do that is what we're doing right here, educating the people.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, otherwise we're going to be pushed to the brink, and we don't want that.
No, God doesn't want that for us. You know what? I
No.
believe He put me in this place to use my voice, to speak. I speak with kindness. I'm respectful to all people. I want peace for everybody, but we're being pushed in a corner and we're being in a web of lies. And I've been doing, dealing with finance for so many years. I've seen people lie to me while they're stealing from me. So, I mean, I've seen all the signs. All the signs are here right now. But as far as this movie, we called it the Whore of Havana because we believe that Justin Trudeau is Justin Castro. We don't believe he's telling exactly the truth. There's twists and turns that you're going to find out about his younger brother, Michel, who mysteriously died in an avalanche out in, I think it was British Columbia,
In
1998.
November.
Yeah, in November. Yeah, where it's not like, it's still warm in that time of, climate change, I guess. But there's that. There's Kirk Reese with the intel. Kirk was awesome, gave some really awesome intel. And then there's Odessa's in it as well. Bryce from Vancouver is in it as well. And there's some other really awesome intel with Cuba, The Connection. And Dean plays some really awesome music. And he also twists the songs, words around. And he's so funny, and it's not just like a very serious film. I find it fun and refreshing because this is real media. This is real deal media. That's our name. But this is real, like, cinema. This is what the old cinema used to be before it got
It
infiltrated.
re-inspired me. It re-inspired me in a lot of
art.
ways.
Yeah, man.
It is.
I'm so
It is.
happy. I'm so happy because Dean is so talented. He's so great with music, but he's so talented in his words and the way he talks. And he's respectful, trying to come to truth on both sides. And he's taking a beating. And we've had infiltrators also on within our group as well. So I mean, hats off to Dean.
I think
on
it's
this
just
one.
it's part of the game
Yeah.
at this point. I think it's just, you got to keep that circle small, and
Yes.
I'm glad that we connected because there's not many others that I trust
Yeah.
on a large scale
Yeah,
right
thanks,
now.
man. I
Like,
appreciate
you know what
that.
I mean?
We had
You
our
know?
first.
Oh, I appreciate it too.
I remember when we first. I'll leave it at this. We had a first out, and I think we were talking about Israel or something. And
We were.
one thing I said, and keep this in mind, and you have your right to speak, but you should not have hatred in your heart. If you're speaking
sure.
from hate, and if you're going out yelling and screaming, all Jews are this, and all, that's not true at all. I know so many amazing people that, like, I met I got to tell you this story, and then I'm going to go. I know I'm so talking
Hey
so
man,
much.
it's
I haven't
okay.
told this
It's
story
okay.
yet. The other day, I was sitting in my car getting groceries, and a homeless guy comes up to me on my car door, and he's like, do you have like $10? He was offering me a Tim Hortons gift card or something. I'm like, actually, I don't have any cash, like change on me, but I may have some spare change. So I started, getting some spare change, which I had enough for $10. And then I'm like, so where are you from? And he was so nice, like, real. I could see he was like hadn't showered, like. I said, where are you from? He's from Ukraine. Oh, tell me more. I lost my business in Ukraine. Well, what happened? Well, the war started, lost his whole family. The government took over. He had to move here with his family. And then I started asking, so is it true there's these biolabs in Ukraine? Yeah, there's a lot of biolabs. I call it the bat who loved us, or COVID. It came from through Ukraine. Yeah, we feel that it probably did. A lot of corruption. He said Ukraine's the most corrupt country in the world. I have no idea why people would want to give money to Ukraine. There's Nazis. We're at fault right now. We're killing innocent civilians. The Ukraine, the Nazis. It's a mess. It's such a corrupt country. The world has no idea what they're doing. So I said, everything I guess that I'm telling you is true. He goes, how do you know so much about Ukraine? I was asking him because I said, yeah, I heard about Donetsk and like in 2014. He's like, I'm from Donetsk. He's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. It keeps getting more. Like, my grandfather was actually born in Kiev, so I can talk a
Okay.
little bit. Not that I have any connection. I have no connection. But I am looking for the truth. And I find
Right.
it really suspicious that billions of dollars are going to a place where there's no accountability. We have no idea where the money is going. But I do know in Switzerland, there's a lot of Ukrainians pulling up in beautiful Lamborghinis and $100 million chateaus with nice big yachts and hookers and coke. But other than that, I mean, I'm sure it's, I'm sure the money is going to the right place, but they're getting their ass kicked in the war. And you know what? I'm saying we need peace. We need
Yeah.
peace talks. They have not tried. There's only one person who has said he can bring peace in 24 hours, and that's President Trump. But I
Yeah.
wanted to share that story with you because at the end of the day, I only gave him $10 and change, but I reached back. I had the $20 bill in my wallet. I gave him the $20 on top of it. So make sure
Nice.
your family has. He was crying. He was so thankful. I said, make sure I wanted you to know that there's still some light in this world. There are people who still
Right.
care about
Good for
people.
you, man. Good for you.
Why can't our government give money to people and feed everybody if they care? End of story. Feed everybody first, and then let's talk about climate change.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more.
Anyways, and
It was
I'm
my
so
pleasure,
happy.
man.
Yeah.
It always is. I'm only a couple hours away, so I'm hoping to meet you face to face here soon.
Yeah, at some point we will, and I'm so grateful to come on your show. And I just
Hey, man,
I
I'd love
want
to have you
peace
on
for
more often for
Canadians.
sure.
I want peace for Canada. I was born here, bro, so I have a
Okay.
connection to the land, and I love Toronto, but it's just not the same. And if you don't take a stand now and a peaceful stand, they're just gonna run all over you. So everybody's got to do what they got to do to make sure Canada is Canada, or we won't have a country
Absolutely.
very soon. So
Absolutely.
love you
All right. Well,
guys, man.
thanks.
I love all our
Thanks a lot,
connection.
Aaron. You have a good day, bro.
Yeah, I love you too, brother. Thanks a lot so
All
much
right.
for having me, man.
I'll throw your links in here after I get off.
Awesome. Have a blessed day, everybody. All the
You
best.
too, bro. That's Aaron Cates, Real Deal Media. Always a pleasure. We're at an hour and 6 here, so I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm trying to keep all of our episodes now under an hour. So love you all. Hope you have a good day, and we'll be back later on.